There comes a moment in life when you stop asking, what do people expect from me? And you finally start asking, what do I truly want from myself? And for many people, that moment happens after 40, because by 40, life has already taught you some hard lessons. You've experienced success, failure, heartbreak, sacrifice, and responsibilities that nobody prepared you for. And somewhere along the way, many people begin to feel stuck, not because they are weak, but because they forgot one important thing: your life does not end at 40. In many ways, it finally begins. See, the most successful and fulfilled people are not the ones who had perfect lives. They are the ones who learned principles that helped them grow stronger through life's challenges. And today, I want to share 5 golden life principles that can completely transform the way you think, the way you live, and the way you see yourself after 40. Because the truth is, you are not too old to dream again. You are not too late to change your life. And you are definitely not finished yet. So if you're ready to stop surviving and start truly living, then listen carefully. Because these next few minutes might change the rest of your life. Many people spend the first half of their lives trying to be accepted by everyone around them. They want approval from family, friends, coworkers, society, and even strangers who barely know them. They shape their personalities based on what others expect. They hide their true feelings to avoid criticism. They stay quiet when they want to speak. They say yes when they want to say no. And slowly, without realizing it, they begin to lose themselves. The problem with seeking approval is that it never truly ends. No matter how much you sacrifice, no matter how much you try to please people, there will always be someone who disagrees with you, judges you, or misunderstands you. If your happiness depends on everyone accepting you, then your happiness will always remain under someone else's control. After 40, life starts teaching you a powerful lesson. You begin to realize that peace is more valuable than popularity. Freedom is more important than fitting in. And being honest with yourself matters far more than trying to impress people who are not even thinking about your life as much as you imagine. A lot of people waste years pretending to be someone they are not. They laugh at things they do not find funny. They follow careers they do not enjoy. They remain in unhealthy relationships because they fear what people will say if they walk away. They buy things they cannot afford just to look successful in front of others. They live under pressure created by society instead of listening to their own hearts. The truth is, approval can become an addiction. The moment people praise you, you feel valuable. The moment they criticize you, you feel weak. Your confidence rises and falls depending on other people's opinions. That is a dangerous way to live because people are unpredictable. Their opinions change constantly. If you build your identity on approval, your identity will never feel stable. Strong people understand something important. Not everyone has to like you for your life to have value. You do not need permission to be yourself. You do not need applause to follow your purpose. And you do not need universal acceptance to live a meaningful life. One of the biggest signs of maturity is when a person stops explaining every decision to everyone around them. They stop wasting energy trying to make everybody understand. They realize that some people will judge them no matter what they do. So instead of chasing validation, they focus on living with honesty and self-respect. There is a huge difference between being respected and being approved of. Respect comes from character. Approval often comes from performance. Respect lasts longer because it is built on integrity. Approval disappears the moment you stop giving people what they want. Many people are afraid to disappoint others, but they forget the cost of constantly disappointing themselves. Every time you ignore your own needs to satisfy everyone else, you create frustration inside yourself. Over time, that frustration turns into exhaustion, resentment, and emotional emptiness. Think about how many dreams people abandon because they fear criticism. How many talents stay hidden because someone is scared of judgment. How many opportunities are missed because people are waiting for approval before taking action? Fear of rejection has destroyed more potential and failure ever could. The reality is that criticism is unavoidable. If you succeed, people will criticize you. If you fail, people will criticize you. If you stay quiet, people will judge you. If you speak confidently, people will judge you. No matter what you do, opinions will exist. So the question becomes simple. Why sacrifice your happiness trying to control something you can never control? After 40, wise people stop trying to win every person's approval because they finally understand time is limited. Energy is limited. Life is limited. They become more careful about where they invest their emotional energy. Instead of trying to please everyone, they focus on protecting their peace, their values, and their purpose. Sometimes the people around you may not understand your growth. When you start setting boundaries, some people will call you selfish. When you stop tolerating disrespect, some people will say you changed. When you begin prioritizing your mental peace, others may become uncomfortable because they benefited from your silence before. But growth often requires disappointment. You cannot evolve while trying to keep everybody comfortable. Every meaningful transformation in life demands courage. And courage means being willing to disappoint others in order to stay true to yourself. There is freedom in no longer needing constant validation. Freedom in speaking honestly. Freedom in making decisions based on your values instead of public opinion. Freedom in understanding that your worth does not decrease simply because someone fails to recognize it. The most confident people are not the ones who receive the most praise. They are the ones who remain secure even without praise. They know who they are. They know what matters to them. And they refuse to let temporary opinions define their identity. As you grow older, your circle often becomes smaller because you stop performing for people. You become more selective with relationships. You stop chasing attention. You stop forcing connections. You begin valuing authenticity over popularity. And surprisingly, that is when life becomes lighter. Seeking approval is exhausting because it forces you to constantly wear masks. One mask for family, another for society, another for work, another for social situations. But eventually, carrying all those masks becomes emotionally draining. Peace only comes when you allow yourself to live honestly. People who constantly seek approval often fear rejection because they tie rejection to self-worth. But rejection is not proof that you are worthless. Sometimes it simply means you are not meant for a certain environment, relationship, or path. And that is completely normal. Not everyone will understand your journey because not everyone is meant to walk it with you. Some people only understand you when you stay small. The moment you become stronger, wiser, and more independent, they become uncomfortable because your growth reminds them of their own fears. Peace is one of the most valuable things a person can have after the age of 40. At this stage in life, people begin to understand that constant stress, unnecessary drama, and emotional chaos are far more expensive than money. When you are younger, you may chase excitement, attention, or the need to prove yourself. But as life moves forward, your priorities start changing. You begin valuing calm mornings, honest relationships, quiet moments, and a mind that can rest without anxiety. Many people spend years sacrificing their peace just to keep others comfortable. They tolerate disrespect to avoid conflict. They stay in toxic environments because they fear loneliness. They carry emotional burdens that were never theirs to carry. Slowly, their mental energy becomes drained, and they start feeling tired even when they have done nothing physically exhausting. Protecting your peace means learning that not every battle deserves your attention. Some arguments are simply distractions. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you no matter how clearly you explain yourself. Some situations only steal your energy without improving your life. Wise people understand that silence is often more powerful than constant reaction. After 40, emotional maturity becomes more important than emotional intensity. You stop responding to every negative comment. You stop trying to fix every broken person. You stop chasing people who continuously create confusion in your life. Instead, you begin asking yourself a simple question. Does this situation bring peace into my life, or does it destroy it? Many people confuse peace with weakness, but real peace requires strength. It takes strength to walk away from toxic conversations instead of proving yourself. It takes strength to stop entertaining negativity. It takes strength to create boundaries with people who only bring stress into your life. Anyone can react emotionally in the moment, but not everyone can protect their inner calm. One of the biggest threats to peace is overthinking. People spend hours replaying conversations in their minds, worrying about situations they cannot control, or creating fear about the future. The mind becomes crowded with unnecessary noise. Over time, this constant mental pressure damages emotional health. A peaceful life begins when you stop giving every thought unlimited importance. Social pressure also destroys peace. Society constantly tells people how they should live, what they should own, how successful they should appear, and what their life should look like by a certain age. Many people become exhausted trying to meet expectations that were never truly their own. They compare their lives to others and feel inadequate without realizing that comparison steals gratitude and joy. Protecting your peace sometimes means disappointing people. Not everyone will like your boundaries. Some people only appreciate you when you are always available, always sacrificing, and always saying yes. The moment you begin protecting your energy, they may accuse you of changing. But growth always changes a person. Maturity teaches you that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. There are relationships that constantly drain emotional energy. Some people create drama everywhere they go. They gossip, manipulate, criticize, and spread negativity. Being around them feels heavy. After spending time with them, your mind feels tired and your spirit feels exhausted. Peaceful people learn to limit access to those who disturb their emotional balance. A peaceful life also requires accepting what cannot be controlled. Many people suffer because they fight reality. They want others to behave differently. They want life to always go according to plan. They resist change and become frustrated when things do not happen the way they expected. But peace begins when acceptance replaces resistance. Not everything needs a reaction. Sometimes the best response is distance. Sometimes the healthiest decision is silence. People who protect their peace understand that their energy is valuable. They no longer waste it on pointless conflicts or temporary emotions. Technology and constant noise have also made peace difficult for many people. Phones, social media, endless opinions, and constant comparison keep the mind overstimulated. Many people wake up stressed before the day even begins because their minds never truly rest. Protecting your peace sometimes means disconnecting from unnecessary noise and reconnecting with yourself. Health also becomes deeply connected to peace after 40. Stress affects sleep, energy, focus, and even physical well-being. A person may appear successful on the outside while internally feeling completely exhausted. True success means nothing if your mind is constantly overwhelmed. A peaceful mind allows the body to function better and life to feel lighter. People often wait for life to become peaceful, but peace is not something the world gives you automatically. It is something you consciously protect. It is created through choices. The people you allow into your life, the conversations you entertain, the environments you stay in, and the thoughts you feed daily all shape your emotional state. Forgiveness is another important part of peace. Carrying anger for years only poisons the person holding it. Some people continue reliving old pain long after the situation has passed. They hold on to resentment and wonder why they never feel calm inside. Forgiveness does not mean accepting